Pavita, the stage is now yours.
Yes. Hi. Thank you, Reen. Hello, everyone. My name is Pavita. I think I've met some of you here before. I manage some of your accounts. So yeah, if you have seen my name before in your email inbox, so this is the face. So nice to meet you all here, and thank you all so much for being here today. Let me start with the most important question. Who is looking forward to the wine session later? No one? I am. I am so looking forward to the wine and networking session later. But before that, just please, stay with me and a few other speakers for a while more, and then we can go for the networking. So yeah, back to why I'm here today. Basically, I just want to share with you like how to maintain good account health while you're growing your business globally. So yeah, the next important question after the wine question is, what is account health? So account health is basically a holistic representation of your account's adherence to Amazon's selling policies. And here's what it looks like. So the page is your tool within Seller Central that you can track your account health, and it's called Account Health Page. So you can access it. If you see on the left-hand side, right, you can click on Performance tab and then go to Account Health, and the page will then be divided into 3 sections. The first section here is Customer Service Performance. So you'll be able to measure your performance related to post-order concerns from customers. So things like negative feedback, A to Z claims, and credit card chargebacks. Specifically, the order defect rate represents the percentage of orders that you fulfill that have one or more defects. Next is the policy compliance section, which contains your adherence to Amazon's product policies. For example, the products that you sell and listing data that you provide about your products. If anything goes wrong with them, you'll be able to see here. Last but not least, the column off to the right is the shipping performance. So you'll be able to see your adherence to Amazon's policies related to fulfillment. Please note here that the 2 important metrics are your late shipment rate, which represents the percentage of orders shipped after handling time, and the pre-fulfillment cancel rate, which represents the percentage of orders canceled before they are fulfilled. So why is all this important? So Amazon's policies are designed so that you can track and ensure that your customers have the best customer shopping experience. And when customers come back, they want to purchase more products from you and from other sellers as well. So maintaining a great account health means that you can focus your time and efforts on doing other important things, to grow your business. And especially if you address the issues early and often, because if any issue escalates, right, and I hope you don't have to go through that, but some of you may have, had that issue. If it escalates, it takes much longer time from you away from your business. So how do you know when to take action? Okay, first things first, let's talk about what you need to look at on your account health to understand what's the next actions you need to do. So as I was saying before, right, it is important to address any account health issues before they escalate. So checking your account health regularly, it could be daily, it could be weekly. That completely depends on your business, the volume, how much you're selling. And yeah, so checking and addressing them early is super critical. So this means, what does this mean? This means proactively addressing any order defects, any invoice defects, late shipment, cancel rates, and valid tracking rates. So you can see that there are targets under each of these areas. It's like your own KPI, your own performance goal, and that you have to make sure that you keep a close look at it and stay under. For example, you can see here, like under order defect rate, there's a target of 1% here. So make sure you stay under that, otherwise you might get into trouble. So in the policy compliance, you can see that there are a series of violations here and also complaints and issues here. So whenever any of these issues come in, right, it is important that you address them early, as soon as possible, to maintain a green account health rating. So what if, you leave it for a bit too long, and if they are unaddressed, what's going to happen? So these are a few signs that you need to look out for. A warning banner, which could correspond to any aspects of your account health. For example, exceeded performance threshold and amber account health rating based on policy compliance that corresponds with policy violations here. So when these signals take place, it is important to take immediate action so as to avoid business disruption through an account deactivation. So sometimes, even though you try your best, sometimes your account or your listings can get into trouble and get deactivated. So yeah, I'm not sure how many of you have had to do that, but even if you haven't done that before, it's still good to be aware of, how to react when this kind of thing happens. Because if you are deactivated, right, it means your sales and all that is going to be impacted. So you should be prepared on how to tackle that when it happens. So if your accounts or listing are deactivated, right, there are certain actions that you need to do in order to get it back. You can visit the performance notification. So again, go to the bar on the left and then go to performance and then performance notifications. And then you can find enforcement-related actions and potential next steps. It often, most of the time, includes writing a plan of action or POA. So make sure you log into the marketplace that deactivation happens or violation occurs to submit an appeal. Yeah, you can see my circle there. So the plan of actions, right, normally it includes 3 elements. First, you need to identify the root cause. And second, you need to explain actions taken to resolve the issues for your customers. And also, you need to be able to explain the actions that you will take to avoid future problems. So keep them clear and concise, because your action plans should be genuine and straightforward. You also need to provide clarifications for all issues. Some account deactivations may be the result of a combination of more than one issue, so you need to be clear. For example, it could be high order defect rates caused by negative feedback and undelivered orders. So yeah, just make sure that you address all of those issues. Please include the supporting evidence, all items. Ensure that you submit supporting evidence for everything, all the ASINs are under review. You can find the list of items at the bottom of the original notification. You will need to highlight the issues in the supporting file. You can also help the reviewing team a little bit by circling or highlighting important information so that they know where to look at. So for the things you should avoid, right? So even if you have had a similar issue before, please do not recycle or resubmit the same POA, because every issue is different, and yeah, the people who review will be able to see if you're just using the same one. And since you own this, right, you are the owner of your products, you know this best, so please do not ask anyone, including your account manager, to do this. Yeah, and no need to provide any intro. Just go straight to the point. Don't include any questions or references. Focus on, just dealing with the issues that's happening. I know some of you may get a bit emotional because, this is your brand, your business, and this is you love it and you focus on it, but try to avoid using emotive languages, and don't identify solutions of the past or all the possible things you do in the future. Focus on the present and what you are doing now or have done to avoid to solve the problem that already happened and to avoid it repeating. So now we have come to the final section of my presentation, which is tips to maintain good account health. So first of all, you need to be proactive. There's a voice of customer section in the account where you can review customer feedback related to your products. It can be very helpful to use the information to identify trends or commonalities that you find from your different buyers from different products that may point to defects or issues with packaging or business processes. And when you're reviewing these voices of customers, right, it is important to focus on to look at the root cause and not just a singular defect, but all the driver of the issues so that you can mitigate the potential issues in the future. So apart from listening to your customers, right, you should also know your products, meaning that please make sure you understand your products, where they're from, who are your suppliers, how does the logistic work, so that you make sure that it's authentic and legitimate. And And there are also like some local and regional regulations that you should also be aware of because it might impact your products as well. So finally, it is important to manage your inventory well. So Amazon offers a number of settings to help you manage your inventory. For example, one of these is the handling time, that you can assign a unique handling time of each and every one of your listings. The next is if any orders that are fulfilled after the handling time has expired are considered late shipment. So late shipment is, like I mentioned earlier, it will be counted towards your account health. So yeah, make sure that you are managing your inventory well. So your inventory levels should also reflect the amount of orders that you'll be able to handle, because you should be able to fulfill any number of orders that are occurring when your listing is live. So yeah, these are the important things for you to take note of if you're not doing FBA, because some of your listings may be fulfilled by yourself. So yeah, these are the things that you need to take care of. Okay, so what I would recommend is for you to stay up to date. So, apart from the 3 things that I mentioned just now, how do you actually stay up to date? So first, like I mentioned, please stay updated to your account health page and performance notifications. Do this daily or weekly, depends on how much you need it. Depends on your sales volume, and also update your emergency contact number, because recently you may have noticed that we also start calling you when there's any important account health issues. So our Amazon team will be calling you to try to help you solve the issue. So it's very important for you to make sure that the number is updated so that we can reach out to you in a timely manner. And we also, every few months, we also ask you to update this number just to make sure that you haven't changed your number, and we can always reach you if we need. You can also ensure that you receive any important email communications by adding Amazon.com domains to your email client, just to make sure it doesn't get blocked or go to your spam folder. Okay, this is actually the last of my slides already. Some helpful resources, for you to bookmark, probably. The first is the Seller News articles. It provides the latest updates and announcements. Seller News is available in the homepage of the Seller Central, and you can also see it when you go to Account Health page, as you can see on the left-hand side. It will alert you of any changes to existing policies or new policies that may be required as you continue selling on Amazon. And second one is the one in the middle. If you have any questions, seller forums is also a very helpful place to learn and exchange with other sellers. So not just with other sellers, right, who may have faced the same issues before. We also have, Amazon people, account health people, to monitor these seller conversations so that they can, see what you need help with, and then go ahead and answer the questions that you may have. So do check that out. And last but not least is Seller University, which is accessible on Seller Central. It has a very, very wide variety of videos and information that you can use to understand your policies. There's also a lot of very simple, easy to understand videos as well. So this is for yourself to understand. And if you have any employees, right, this can also be used for your employees so that you can train your employees to understand the policies as well. So yeah, these are the 3 helpful resources that I would like you to be aware of and bookmark. So, and that's all of what I have today for the account health. Now the floor is open for questions, if you have any. Okay, sure, I see some hands up.
Recently, Amazon introduced the color coding for the policy violations, right? Red, yellow, and green, right? In the green, minimum 200, maximum is 1,000. What are the other factors that contributing this number, even though the violation all is perfect?
Even though, what, sorry?
There is no violations.
There's no violations. Yeah. How do you make sure that you are...
How Amazon gives this rating if there is no policy violations? Because we refer within our friends, some have 250, some have 500, some have 750. So how Amazon decides? Other than the policy violations?
Okay, sometimes it's not about the policy violations itself, but it could be you need to check at the customer feedback as well, the review, to make sure that your customers are happy, because as I mentioned, right, this is the perfect tool to measure how happy your customers are with what you're selling and with the experience they're getting. So, if they're getting good products, they're happy with the products, they're giving good reviews, then that will give you good score. If they receive the product early, within the expected time, they'll give you a good score. And of course, vice versa, right? If it's the opposite, then that could affect your
I'm
score
using
as well.
FBA, so delivery is not under me. So that's why we are wondering how Amazon gauge this number.
How Amazon gauge this scoring? Is it actually the scoring, the calculation itself? It's not published, but I can share with you that it's still based on how happy your customers are. So it's not just about all these you meet within 1% defect rate and all that, right? But make sure that your review is good. You actually, if there's any queries, any questions to you, you actually reply to them early. Yeah, so because these are all the things that your customers care about and will affect their decision whether to come back to you or not. And yeah, so you should be able to your score should reflect all this lah.
So the sales does not contribute anything to this, right?
The what? Sorry.
The sales and the revenue.
Sales and revenue. By right, it should not. But again, I am not able. I also don't have the actual algorithm that I can share with you. But by right, it shouldn't.
Okay,
yeah.
thank you. All right.
Thank you. Thank you for your question.
Questions? Yes, on the right-hand side, Jamin. Okay, thank you.
Hi.
Hey.
A couple of questions. One is, does aging inventory affect the account health? So by aging inventory, I mean that if there's some stock which is not moved for about X number of days, does that affect the account health? If so, then what is the threshold?
Okay, if you're asking about aging inventory, I don't think it is actually account health issue, but it would be more of the IPI score. So that's so Amazon has different scores to measure your performance. So this is more of how you're complying to our policies and how happy your customers are. But your IPI measures your inventory performance. Yeah, so yeah, it shouldn't affect the account health, but more IPI.
Okay. Second question is, a lot of our back-end seller central details do not show up on the front end, right? Say, for example, pricing. Even though the competitive pricing is turned off, it doesn't show up in the front end, right? It's a different price that comes up. Anything that you can tell me about that? Why that happens or any
pricing? As in are you doing automated pricing?
No.
Or okay. I think this one might need to deep dive a little bit because it could be different reasons. But Amazon, I'm not sure if it's the buy box. Are you winning the buy box or is it someone else winning? But yeah, maybe later can also come to our the consultation booth and we can deep dive more into this issue.
Sure.
Yeah.
Last question. Are you also the right person to discuss compliance?
Discuss
compliance for products? Because a lot of our products were delisted because of compliance issues, and we have been fighting that for a while. I don't know if Clarissa is here, though. Yeah, we have been fighting that for a while with our account manager, so was wondering if you're the right person to talk to about that.
Sorry, I cannot hear you properly.
Are you the right person to talk about the compliance issues?
Later, I think if you have compliance issues, can also come find me at the consultation or my colleagues will be able to help answer your questions as well.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Any other questions or do we still have time for questions?
We're all clear,
Okay.
so we can release you.
Thank you so much, everyone. Looking
Thank you
forward
so much,
to
Pavita.
chatting more later.
Thank you for your time.